everybody, this is Boog S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Vintage Collection Spider-Man figure. So before we take a look at Spider-Man, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with these alternate thwipping hands, and they look pretty good. They're similar to what we've seen used in the past, and these are the only alternate hands that he comes with. He doesn't come with any wall-crawling hands, which, one of the good things with this figure is you can use the wall-crawling hands from previous Spider-Man figures, which I will go ahead and show off now. So here he is with the open hands from the Toys R Us 2-pack Spider-Man figure, the all-new, all-different Marvel Spider-Man, and these hands fit in really well. I think the colors match up pretty nicely, too. They're a little glossier than the rest of the plastic. This is more of a flat color, and this is glossy, but you can make that work. So I think that's pretty cool that Hasbro made it so that you could change these out with previous figures. So for his final accessory, he comes with an alternate head, and this head reminds me of the Steve Ditko Spider-Man, and I like how this looks. He has the tinier eyes, so that looks pretty good. And switching the heads out. Switching the heads out can be a little tough because there is this cut back here, and I feel like if you force that too much, you're going to start to chew the plastic up right there. So, yeah, this does feel a little flimsy. And here he is with the head sculpt that I like on him the most. Now, this head sculpt reminds me of John Romita's artwork. And this one looks good. As you can see, this one has wider eyes, but the black around the eyes didn't get painted on all the way. But it doesn't look too bad. Comparing the two, you can see that they are different. And like I said, I do like this one better. Before I get any further into this review, though, I wanted to show off that you can switch it with previous Spider-Man figures. So here is the Peter Parker head sculpt. This is the same head sculpt as the all-new, all-different Toys R Us 2-pack version. This one just has some battle damage to it. So the Peter Parker head will work on this figure, which is pretty cool. I would have been really angry if I wouldn't have been able to use this head sculpt on the figure. And finally, you can use the Pizza Spider-Man head sculpt on the figure. So, like I said, I really like that you can swap the heads out with different Spider-Man figures, and even the hands. You can switch the hands and the heads from previous Spider-Man figures to your liking. So you can do that if you want to. I don't think that looks the greatest. It doesn't look too bad, but I just don't feel like it fits the figure. But yep, if you wanted to do that, you definitely could. So we already took a look at the head sculpt. All the web lines look really nice. The spider logo came out really clean. And the collars, Hasbro did pretty good on matching the collars up. As you can tell, the chest is darker than the abs right here. The collar is darker up here, which because I think the red's painted over top of the blue. But they did a pretty good job matching that collar up and not getting any blue showing through. It is a different color, but like I said, it doesn't look too bad. And this reuses some of the parts from Sunfire, which I think it's from the bicep down, and from the thighs down is the Sunfire body mold. But this torso, the whole torso is brand new, and you get this notch cut out on the neck. And I'm not a fan of the way that looks. I don't feel like it looks that good. It definitely allows for more range of motion with that new ball joint Hasbro's using, but I just don't like the way that looks. That notch cut out there looks awful. But then again, it does give you more articulation, so if you play with it, you can get it hidden. If you do that, it's hidden. But if you have him just standing like that, it is definitely exposed. And the spider logo on his back also came out pretty clean. There isn't any blue showing through over top of the red, so that's pretty good. As I said, all of the web lines look really nice on, and the pegs right here on the bicep, I wish they would be less exposed, because when you have him out like that, those pins are showing. I thought this was actually going to be one of those pinless figures. I think the only ones using the pinless technology is the X-Men figures so far. I want to say, don't quote me on that. But yeah, these pins really stick out there. The least they could have done was at least paint some blue over top of them to make them blend in a little better. They might not stand out as much if they weren't all red. And we get some new articulation here, which I will show off here in a few. And why I think the hips are new is because they use this drop-down joint. It's similar to what Beast used. Actually, the hips might be Sunfire too. I think it's the joints right here that are new. So yeah, I think I was wrong about that when I said that earlier. But anyways, this gives you some really good motion with the legs, which I'll show off when I get to the articulation. And then there you get the Spider-Man feet. Pretty simple. But yeah, this looks really nice. And I think this might actually replace my Pizza Spider-Man figure. I didn't think that could happen, but the articulation and just overall look of the figure is so good. So now I will go ahead and go over the articulation. So he has a ball-jointed head which can look back all the way because of that cut. So you can get him looking back all the way, but if you see there, you do get some gappage right there. When he looks up, you can see the ball joint. But again, you can kind of make that work. If you do that, it's not exposed. But yeah, if you get him looking up all the way, you can see that bit of gappage right there. But he can look back all the way. He can look down just a little bit. He can't look down all the way. He can move his head side to side, and you get a little bit of tilting. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move all the way out. He has really nice butterfly joints. They're pretty fluid. He has swivel at the bicep, double-jointed elbow, swivel at the wrist that can move side to side and up and down. All of the hands have the same articulation, so they'll be the same as these. He has a ball-jointed diaphragm that can move back all the way and down all the way. You can get it tilting and moving all the way around really nicely, and some side-to-side movement. And then you get this this new joint right here. I want to say the only figure that's used this joint so far that Hasbro has done has been the 12-inch version of Spider-Man from quite a few years back, and Jaina Solo from Star Wars The Black Series. I want to say those are the only figures that have used this. But it's this this like waist crunch joint. It's an odd joint, but it works really well when coupled with the ball jointed diaphragm there. So you can get him moving that far in with both of those joints, and you can get him back, though it kind of looks like he's just been broken by Bane. So yeah, that doesn't look as good as forward, but you can get him in some really nice poses because of this articulation. He has ball jointed hips that can do a complete split, and he has those drop down joints where if you have Spider-Man standing normally, you can have him like that, but if you try to get him into some really nice poses, they can drop down, and he can kick out all the way, and he can kick back just about all the way. You can really just move that joint all the way around right there, but if you move it back, he can only kick that far. But the joints do drop down, so you can get him in some really nice dynamic poses. He has swivel at the thigh, double jointed knee, swivel at the shin, swivel at the ankle that can move down all the way, up all the way, and an ankle rocker. So yeah, the articulation on this Spider-Man is amazing. As I said before, I didn't think anything could top Pizza Spider-Man, but I was wrong. This, to me, is the definitive Spider-Man figure. So now, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the Pizza Spider-Man figure. And as you can see, this body mold is bigger than the Pizza Spider-Man body mold. The Pizza Spider-Man body mold is a skinnier body type. But yeah, this Spider-Man definitely will replace my Pizza Spider-Man after all these years. And if you still like the Pizza Spider-Man figure, you can put the head sculpt on this new figure, so you can still keep it. So, like I said earlier, it's nice that you have some really good options for that. Here he is next to a Toy Biz Spider-Man figure. When I first got this out, I thought this was the McFarlane Spider-Man figure from Toy Biz, but I'm not actually sure which Spider-Man this actually is. So there he is next to this random Toy Biz Spider-Man figure that I found that I thought was the McFarlane version. And finally, here he is next to Mary Jane with that new updated head sculpt on. So overall, I would highly, highly recommend this Spider-Man figure. It is definitely the best Spider-Man figure that Hasbro has given us. Between the articulation, the sculpt, and just the look of the figure, it is very good. And I have him on a flight stand here doing an acrobatic pose. Of course, you can get better poses with it. I just did a quick little pose here for the video. But yeah, this is the definitive Hasbro Spider-Man Marvel Legend figure. So I'd highly recommend picking it up. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.